Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum. So this is basically just to share with you guys about some research finding I found out about the birds, and then back then I basically did some research in about some birds, and then so I bought some few birds, and then we did some a bit experiments. I do the experiments on the birds. So this is some interesting information I just wanted to share with you guys. So in the Quran, it's stated that لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. So it means that we had created the humans in the best form. So this is basically just to share with you guys about this verse. So I was actually wondering what kind of best form does this mean. So this what has been found out is that by accident is that once I was doing the experiments with the bird, so I basically have a bird with me, and then I showed the birds some image of humans, so and as compared to image of and other animals and stuff like that. So what's been found out is that the birds are more attracted to images of human beings, like beautiful women, and image of like a handsome man, as compared to any other beautiful creatures out there. So from this experiment, we know that the verse لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. So this is in Surah At-Tin. So the verse that states that we created human in the best form means that in the animal kingdom, so the human is created in the best form. So it means like the human is a creature that has been created in the best form in the animal kingdom, excuse me for that. So in this world there's actually two types of beings. So you have the human being, which is flesh and bloods and animals, and also you have the jinns. So the jinns are based on fire. So based on my research, so the jinns are based on the energy creatures. So even if you want to compare from the jinns and also from the animal kingdom, so the human has the best formation of uh, our looks and appearance as compared to other creatures out there. So this is a scientific finding that is found by accident by doing the research with the birds. So why do I explain about the birds? Because the birds are actually smart creatures. So what I found was that the birds are able to actually understand the human language much faster than a human can decode any other species language. So this is the best part about the birds. I mean the skills that they have. So they are very good observers if you want to see birds. So and then based on the Quran, so what it states is that the birds actually know if a person is a a believer or a disbeliever. They know that if you prostrate to the sun or you prostrate to Allah, they actually know how to differentiate between a believer and a disbeliever. So we're basically talking about the birds because there's a video about the birds that is being brought to a grave, and then you can see that the birds was trying to mimic the sound that they heard from the grave. So this is aligned with the hadith that states that every creatures can actually hear the screams of those from the grave that are being tormented. So um, and then what the bird was trying to do was that the bird was in panic when they heard the screams. So it tries to tell its human master what it hears from the grave. So this is something about the birds. So if you guys know, the birds actually know how to communicate with humans. If they slowly study the human language, they try to decode it. So this is based on experiments that has been done, and also this is based on the Quran. So I'm doing some experiments in the past, which is solely based on the Quran. So the Quran states that the birds are actually smart creatures. They are like smart observers, and then they are on um, by fitra. Fitra means that they know there is no God except for Allah, and then the birds also know that Allah has a really huge throne, um, and the birds actually know some basic things about Allah. So this is about something about the animals that we found out. And then in the surah, also Surah An-Naml also mentioned something about the ants. So we're basically talking about animals here because it's actually related to the topic discussion about the science in the Quran and the proof of life after death, and also the proof of the miracles of being animal beings. So what is being found out is that ants actually has a language. So the thing about ants and the thing about bees is that they are born and naturally knows how to communicate with each other. They don't go to schools on how to talk, how to communicate, but they simply just understand language. I mean, their own language and language. So this is actually a miracle of being a creature, being that an animal simply born and knows how to talk. So, so this is something I just wanted to share with you guys, and it's the a lot of the research was done. Uh, I mean, the findings was amazing because everything actually shows that the truth of Allah is only one. Allah is actually the one creating everything all around us, and then the truth about the Quran. So I just want to share with you guys over here. So just in case if you guys are probably just listening to this my video, so you guys probably want to think about uh, religion, want to think about Islam, wanted to look into dive deep down into Islam, God, everything, because we don't want to risk our life, gamble our life, and then being put in hell for eternity, because hell is a real thing. So just in case if you guys were skeptical, if is there a soul, is there a life after death? I mean, there is a life after death. You can actually make an experiment to prove there is life after death. So based on some hypothesis that you can find from hadith. So you can say that that's actually a hypothesis, but from a Muslim perspective, that's actually the truth, and it is the truth. So what the Prophet said was that every creatures can actually hear the scream, the sound of those being tormented in hellfire. I mean, those being tormented in the grave. Excuse me for that. So, so what you can do in experiment is that you can actually bring any forms of creatures. You know what I mean. Like you can bring a bird, you can bring any other animals, like a dog or something like that, like a dog, a bird, a dog, a cat, anything. You bring it to the grave and actually observe how they respond on the grave, because the graveyards are actually full of people in the grave dimension screaming because of being tormented in the grave. So you can do this experiment, and then you would find that the animals were being has like a stress response, like somebody, I mean, it's been stressed out, because you can find this thing on YouTube. So this actually indicates, uh, I mean, I didn't mean to pinpoint anybody, but you can find any other videos out there that you can bring any kinds of animals on the grave. They hear the screams of those torment in the grave, uh, barzakh. So it's a grave dimension that, every soul, bad soul, has been put, and then it's been torment. So what the Prophet said is that the animals and the creatures, other creatures except for the jinns and the humans, can actually hear that. So if you bring them to the grave, they can hear the screams. So this is basically just to share with you guys. I guess that this information is very important to clarify that there is no God except for Allah, and Prophet Muhammad is his messenger. He is actually telling the truth. And then you actually want to think about, you know, about this, because we don't want to gamble our life. There's a lot of good people out there, and then we don't want good people being tormented in hellfire for eternity.